Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon here on YouTube, and then I post it up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. If you feel you need a therapist, please go to Google, type in therapy, your city, Psychology Today will pop up, click on that, and it will have all of the therapists in your area. Also, the views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other goddamn therapist for that matter. Thanks a lot for playing. Bye-bye. Shakalaka boom. Done. Okay. There it is. Okay. So got a couple of announcements to make. Holy cow. We have sold out on the cabins on the cruise. However, Chris is working with Carnival. We're going to try to get a few more cabins in. So, hi, Sweden. Oh my gosh. So we're going to try to get a few more cabins in. So if you are interested, get on the waiting list. Okay. We have sold out the cabins for the We Need to Cruise with Chris Godinez. So the people at Mercury are working on getting more cruises with Carnival. So what you can do is get your name on the waiting list, go to Eventbrite, search for We Need to Cruise with Chris Godinez, and add yourself to the waiting list. That's all you need to do. And then we hope to be able to secure more cabins so that you can join us, which would be awesome because it's going to be so much fun. I am so looking forward to this. And since this was such a success, we are going to continue to do cruises. We're probably going to do one on the West Coast next year, and then Alaska, and then probably over in Europe. So anyway, if you missed this one, you can catch us on one of the other ones. But if you'd like to get in on the inaugural cruise, go to Eventbrite, look up We Need to Cruise with Chris Godinez, get your name on the waiting list like now because Chris will be talking to Carnival very soon. Anyway, so there is that. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Okay, so today's show is going to be the second part of last week's show, which was, you know, you're in a bad relationship when ... And this one is, you know, the relationship is over when ... And I'm just going to continue listing the red flags. So what I did is I posted a couple of memes in the last few weeks that said, how did you know when it was abusive? What was your clue? When did you finally put the pieces together that, oh my freaking God, I have to get out? And so these are from the mouths of survivors who have been there, done that, recognized the red flags, got out, realized the relationship was over, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is what we are going to be talking about today. Hold on while I'm thinking about it. I got my reading glasses out because I can't see without them. Also, a little bit of housekeeping. I love you guys. I do. But please do not friend my personal page. Please don't send me messages to my personal page. I won't even look at them. I just delete them. So if I don't know you already, you're not getting on my personal page. That's all there is to that. My personal page is, you know, personal. So if you do want to interact with me, go to Chris Godinez LPC public speaker. That's where I post almost all the stuff I put on my personal page. So that's where you're going to get my political views. That's where you're going to get my love of Victorian things. All things Victorian. So, you know, houses and dresses and shoes and paintings and, you know, stuff like that. So if you want to see what I like, go to my Chris Godinez LPC page. That's where I'm interacting with fans. That's where I can, you know, get a little bit more personal. Do not go to my personal page because I'm not going to friend you. I'm just not. I'm sorry. It's a boundary. So there it is. Okay. Also, great book. If you guys have not read Shahida Arabi's book, you need to read it. This woman freaking lays it out in easy to understand language. She's awesome. I love the fact that she cites her sources just like I do. You know, it's like, I got it from this study and I got it from this study and I got it from that study and I got it from this director and I got it from that, you know, director of the college, or I got it from this PhD or whatever. It's a great book. So this is for healing the adult children of narcissists. I'm not all the way through it, but from what I'm reading so far, I'm about 3/4 of the way through. It's fantastic. Read this book. Get this book. Go support Shahida Arabi. She's amazing. I love, love, love her. So read this book. All right. The other two books that will be helpful for you are my books, which are, oh my God, You Lead a Horse to Water, but you can't make him cha-cha, which is about why some people stay in abuse and others don't. And also my personal autobiography, which is, you know, what's wrong with your dad? Well, you've got about 4 hours. Anyway, these two books, okay? They're available on Audible. They are available on Amazon. They are available on Kindle. Shahida's, I believe, is available on Amazon. So go read her book. She's amazing. Balls. Love, 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 love her. Also, if you are interested in these Lovely 20-ounce mugs. They're available for sale on eBay. Now, if you do this, please give me a couple of days because it takes me a few days to check my emails because I'm the one that's shipping them. Yes, I do ship them personally. So anyway, there it is. All right. Okay, let's do one more announcement and then, good God, what did I do with my glasses? Okay, hang on. Wait a minute. Oh, woo! Okay. All right. So July 4th, Mensa convention. Okay, the Mensa get together on July 4th at 3 o'clock at the Sheraton Grand in Phoenix. That is where I will be. I will be talking about this book there, and also narcissism, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. July 6th, Santa Barbara. So if you're interested in any of these except for the Mensa one, go to Eventbrite because they're all up on Eventbrite. July 13th will be St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, if you guys are in Minnesota and you really truly want me to come, I need at least 10 people to go to cover the cost of my airline ticket. So if you're interested in doing that, go sign up now, because if I don't have enough people by like the 13th of July, hello, Chris, 13th of June, a month prior so that I can get my airline ticket, I'm not going to fly out because it doesn't make sense. So, and then August 3rd, Anaheim, California, and then August 31st, San Jose, and we'll just go that far out, and then I'll start talking about the other ones. So anyway, that is that. Okay, let's dive into it because this was such a good topic last time, because I don't think people really talk about the red flags. They don't really talk about, like, when did you know? How did you know? And the other list I'm going to read to you is called Things That Kill a Relationship. Okay, so this is important. Now, some of them it's gonna be a little bit of review because I think we left off on the second page. So I'm gonna review a little bit, but we're just gonna dive right into it. If you guys have any questions, wait until I'm done because it's usually about the halfway mark. I ask for questions. So put question and then whatever your question is so my interns know what to look for. Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. Number 30, they do not listen to understand. They listen to win. So this is the biggest thing about abusers is they don't give a flying rat's ass whether they are understanding you at all. They want to win at all costs. It's not like a normal, healthy relationship where you listen to somebody and you go, help me understand where you're coming from so that we can be on the same page and be a partnership, as opposed to what the abuser does, which is, I need to put you one down. I need to be up here. I'm going to win at all costs. I'm right. You're wrong. Yada, 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 yada. So they don't listen to understand. They listen to win. And let me tell you something. If you're in a relationship and you're listening to win, you've already lost. You've already lost, because that's not the point of a relationship. A healthy relationship. This is why I love doing this red flag thing, because I can go contrast and compare. Here's a healthy relationship. Here's what unhealthy relationships do. So in an unhealthy relationship, it is constant battle. And it's like, to win at all costs. And I do mean at all costs. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Only 20 slots. Oh, there's only 20 slots on the waiting list. Okay. There's only 20 slots on the waiting list. So anyway, sorry. Squirrel. All right. So they don't listen to understand. They listen to win. And they don't care who they hurt. And that's when they call names. And that's when they put down. And that's when they do the word salad. And that's when they twist stuff so that somehow it's all magically your fault. Okay, so they talk in circles. That's the word salad. So, you'll be arguing about something and all of a sudden they will start doing this one time 3 years ago, you said blah, 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 and they're bringing up stuff that you don't even freaking remember. And you're like, oh my God. And then they're not making sense. And it's cray-cray. So yeah, they do the word salad too. They talk in circles to confuse the original discussion so that somehow it's all your fault. This is huge. They force you to give up the people and things you used to love because those people don't approve of the abuser. So as soon as the abuser recognizes that family and friends see them for what they are, you're out. The abuser will start poisoning the mind of the target, and they will start accusing you of all sorts of things. Oh, well, they just want to sleep with you, or oh, they're jealous of you, or oh, they do da 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 da. And they will make shit up. And they will tell half-truths that sound plausible. And of course, they do the fear, the obligation, the guilt, the word salad, the keeping the person up, the brainwashing. They repeat to get the person to believe their version of reality. So they insist that the target of abuse give up everything they loved. Everything they loved. So they see the world the way they are. okay? We see the world the way we are. I mean, most of us think that most people are pretty decent people, and we give them the benefit of the doubt. They, on the other hand, when they start doing accusations like that, they're talking about themselves because that's what they would do. So when they accuse somebody of having an affair or wanting somebody sexually or blah, 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 they twist it. They twist it, they twist it, they twist it to suit their own purposes, to make it sound plausible to the target of abuse so that the target of abuse gives up all their family and friends. And they are not below or above accusing family members of incest. Oh, well, your brother wants you, blah, 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 blah. Or your sister said to me that she wanted to have sex. What the actual, and here's the scary thing. Targets of abuse will believe the abuser before they believe their sibling because of the brainwashing. So that's the frightening thing. So when they come out of the fog, the target of abuse has got a lot of amends to make because they have done and said things on behalf of the abuser to try to please them, to try to keep them to stay. And they will get rid of their family. They will get rid of their friends. They will throw their children under the bus. They will abandon their children completely. They will abandon their family completely. They will abandon their friends completely, all to please the abuser. So there is that. Hang on, we got more. Oh boy. Oh, this is a big one. You apologize just to keep the peace and find yourself apologizing for things that are not your fault. Oh, good God. When I left my father's house, now my father was abusive. He was abusive in every possible way that you could possibly think of. I was apologizing for everything. I was basically apologizing for my existence. I was, because I was made to feel like not good enough, 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 and how dare I, and all of that stuff. Hello, fly, go the fuck away. Thank you. So when I left that house, the one thing that most of my boyfriends that were healthy said to me was, you got to stop apologizing. You don't need to apologize for your existence, but we get trained to apologize literally for existing. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I bumped the chair. I'm sorry. You're in a bad mood. I'm sorry. What? Yeah. And we do that. And we take on responsibility for the abuser's emotional state or well-being or whatever. And that is not our job. Not our job. If you find yourself apologizing for everything, you need to write a resignation letter. Dear universe, I resign. I am no longer apologizing for my existence. And abuser, fuck you. Thanks for playing. I'm done. And I'm not going to apologize for having an opinion, having a thought, having a stance, having my own mind, etc. So yeah, they make us apologize for everything because they want us to be them. And how dare we have a differing thought? That's how they are. Mr. Fly, go away. Okay, so boom. This time of year, every year we get flies, and I'm not sure why, but there's horse properties around. So, okay. You have developed hyper alertness. This goes along with the apologizing. You've developed hyper alertness to their moods and tone of voice and body language. So PTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, CPTSD, complex, happens over and over and over again. We learn very quickly to watch. What are they saying? What are they doing? How are they saying it? What's their body language? Because we're trying desperately hard not to get punished. So we become hyper aware of how their tone of voice is. We become hyper aware to what they're texting us. We become hyper aware, and that's why they've trained us to answer texts like that. Because if we don't answer a text, they will, say it with me, kids, punish us for not responding immediately, because we are supposed to be at their beck and call. So yeah, we have learned to very much be very hyper aware to what they are doing, thinking, saying, feeling, etc. We are expected to read their minds. Now here's the deal. We're not mind readers. I mean, I think everybody has psychic ability to a certain extent. Yes, absolutely. But if we were mind readers, don't y'all think that we would have won the lottery a couple of weeks ago when it was like, $500 million? But abusers demand that we read their minds, and that's abuse, because you got to speak it. You've got to say what you need. What do you need? And so they don't. They demand that we just read their minds. So anyway, there's that. Okay, where was I? Where are my glasses? Hang on. I do that all the time. It's like I'll have them on top of my head and I'll be like, where did I put my glasses? Oh God. All right. All right. They become angry at you when you cry because they hurt you, and then they punish you for crying. So why do abusers do this? They do this because they can't stand a real, genuine emotion. It freaks them the fuck out. The only thing that they are okay with is anger because it fuels their narcissistic supply. Or if you're crying and they're getting off on it, they're sadists. That will do it too. So you want to be very aware of somebody who absolutely will not comfort you, will not, I'm so sorry, are you okay? Cry it out, it's all right. Tears are good, tears are normal, tears are cathartic. Every single mammal on the face of the planet tears up when they feel pain, but narcissists and abusers, oh, no. They get angry. They get angry when we cry, and especially if we cry because they've abused us and we are holding them accountable. It's not because they feel guilty. They're pissed they got caught. And they're pissed that we are daring to express a real, genuine emotion that they don't have. I really don't like them. Okay, there we go. So there is that. Hang on, we got more. They gaslight you and call you crazy. For example, I never said that. I never did that. You are crazy. So that is one of the favorite stock and trade of abusers. If you're in a relationship and you're hearing any of these, Houston, y'all got a problem, big time, because that's what these fuckers do. So they will do something heinous and then deny that they ever did it, or say something heinous and I never said that. You're insane. I never said that. You're crazy. Why are you getting so emotional? You're crazy. Only crazy people are that sensitive. And they will use sensitivity against you because they don't have it. So when you are being normal, hello, human, empath, hello, feeling, they get angry, they call you crazy, and then they also say that, you're too sensitive. You're too sensitive. You're too sensitive. That there's no such thing. Your emotions are your emotions, and you have a right to your emotions, and you have a right to feel whatever it is you're feeling. And if you've been hurt and you're calling them out on it, you have a right to say that. You do. They don't get to choose whether or not they hurt you. But remember, we are dealing with amazingly arrogant fuckers that think that they get to tell you what you're feeling, because that's what all of this is about. That's what all of this incredible, huge list, see, huge, this was from last week, huge list is about, because it's all about manipulation and control. And they think they have the right to tell you what you're thinking and feeling. So yeah, they gaslight you and call you crazy and put you down for having emotions. I never said that. You're insane, blah, blah, blah. That's what they do. When they do apologize, if they apologize, it's fake. It is as fake as you can possibly imagine. It's fake because they do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. So a real, true, heartfelt apology is, I hurt you. I know I hurt you. I am mortified that I hurt you. It will never happen again. And then guess what? It never fucking happens again. Why? Because you know that hurt that person. And if you really love that person, you will not fucking continue the behavior that's hurting them. That's the difference. In a healthy, normal relationship, apologies are given when harm is done, and it is true, and it is sincere, and it's from the heart, and we take personal responsibility, and then we make sure that our word is gold. Our word is gold. You can take it to the bank and earn interest on it. Because if we do not have our word, we ain't got jack motherfucking shit. Okay? So apology means that it does not happen again. Does not happen again. So when one of these people apologize, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry you made me. Those are all fake apologies. I hurt you. I'm sorry. I hurt you. I acknowledge it. I take responsibility for that. And it will not happen again. And then it doesn't. That's a real apology. But they do fake apologies all the time. So if somebody is going, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry, and they just keep doing the same behavior over and over again, they're not sorry. They may be sorry that they got caught, but they're not sorry. They're not, because the true mark of an apology is changed behavior. It's changed behavior. That's all there is to it. All right. All decisions that do not result in their immediate benefit are greeted with silence or discouraged altogether. So in other words, let's say that you are thinking of opening your own business, and it's going to be hard work, and they will have to sacrifice, and they don't like that. So they'll discourage you from it. Or let's say that you're thinking about going back to school. They will intentionally stop you. Oh, you don't have the money. Oh, you'll have to get student loans. Oh, it's too hard. It's too time consuming. It's too this, it's too that, it's too. And the reality of it is they don't want you to better yourself. They sure as fuck don't want you to go out and meet new people and get, an outside opinion that might be healthy. They don't want you to realize what you're thinking, what you're feeling. So that's what they do. So, yeah, they if it doesn't benefit them immediately, if it's something you want to do, they put the kibosh on it. They absolutely just put the kibosh. Well, I don't like it, so you can't do it. What? No, that's the sign of abuse. So yeah, they watch for any partner that doesn't help you to grow. Healthy, normal partners encourage their partner to go back to school, open their own business, try something new, learn a new foreign language, travel. They don't like any of that. They don't. Now, they like traveling as long as they can lord it over somebody and be like, oh, yes, well, darling, we stayed first class and we did blah, 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 blah. That's when they like to travel. But if you're traveling to expand your mind and you're traveling to meet new cultures and new people, and they'll put the kibosh on it. They don't want to do that. They're not going to backpack across Europe with you. That's not going to happen. They're not going to stay at a youth hostel. That's not going to happen because it's an inconvenience for them. So remember, they think they deserve the best of the best of the best of the best. And they're not willing to try anything that's anything, adventurous or possibly uncomfortable or, slightly dangerous. So, it's a thing. It's the red flag, red flag, red flag. All right. So here we go. They injure themselves and then call police and claim you did it. I have dealt with several domestic violence survivors, both men and women, where the partner is the abuser. Absolutely. There's no two ways about it. They will, when they realize that the relationship is towards the end, they will harm themselves. They will give themselves black eyes. They'll throw themselves into glass coffee tables. They will slam a door on their arm. You name it. And then they'll claim, they'll call the police and say that you did it. So these are the dark triads. These are, this is dangerous, guys, because the police, unfortunately, will generally side with whoever's got the injuries, okay? And unfortunately, you're going to need to demand a psych eval when this all happens because you need to show that this person is unstable because normal, healthy people don't do that. They don't throw themselves into a coffee table. They don't slam their arm in a door. They don't give themselves a black eye. They don't break their own nose. I have seen all of that on the behalf of the abusers, okay? So it's crazy. It is crazy. If they're doing things and then threatening to call the police, get out. Get out. That's not normal. That is absolutely not normal. Okay. And I'm talking both men and women. So this is the funny thing is everybody comes to this channel and they think that I'm talking about men being the abusers. I'm not. It's men, it's women, it's, transgender, it's gay, it's straight. Every single abuser is every single person that's out there. In other words, it's not exclusively men. It's not exclusively women. It's not exclusively a heterosexual issue. It's not exclusively a gay issue. It's not exclusively a trans issue. There are abusers in every facet of society, and you will find them in all those different places. So I'm not just talking about men here, guys. So if you get your panties in a bunch, it's like, dudes, guys, I'm talking about both. I'm talking about any abuser, and I don't care what their sexual orientation is or what their sex is. So there it is. I just don't like abusers, period. All right. All right. They injure themselves, call the police. You leave to get away from the screaming, and they claim that you will hurt yourself. They call police and claim that you will hurt yourself. So that's another favorite game that they do. Towards the end of the relationship, when you've had enough and you're learning gray rock and you're learning to get out of there, they will, you leave, you've called a timeout and you're leaving and you're like, I'm not this, I'm going to de-escalate this. This is crazy. They will call the police and claim that you're going to hurt yourself, trying to get you committed so that they can back up their story about, oh, they're crazy. Oh, they're this, they're that, they're the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They do that. They absolutely do that. They misuse the judicial system. They misuse the mental health system. They misuse The police system, they misuse that whole thing to try to prove their agenda, which is you're the bad guy, they're innocent little lambs, even though they've been abusing the living crap out of you for years and years and years and years, and forcing you to get rid of your family and friends and children and your hobbies and your job and this, that, and the other thing, but yet you're crazy. So be aware of that. If they call the police on you and they try to do an involuntary commit, you know, you just basically go, no, I'm not a harm to myself. No, I have no plan. No, I'm not interested in killing myself. I'm not, you know, I don't have a plan. There's no, I like myself. It's not going to happen. So the crisis team generally will not commit somebody that is, you know, obviously not suicidal, because trust me, they're filled to capacity with people that are. So that pisses me off too, because they're wasting resources. But again, they don't care because they're fucking narcissists. So there it is. All right. So, all right. They control every single aspect of your life. You have to have their friends, not your own. You don't have your own money. They won't let you drive. They go through your phone, your computer, to know who you are talking to. Huge. That's a huge red flag. In healthy couples, okay, each partner has their own friends. And then you have communal friends. You have friends that are both of your guys' friends. But in a healthy relationship, John's got his own friends that he's known since he was a little kid. I've got my own friends that I've known since I was a little kid. And then we have friends that we have met as adults, as a couple. So there's no jealousy. It's like John and Brad go off and, you know, do stuff every once in a while. Brad has been his best friend forever. So John will go up and visit Brad and hang out with him. And I have no problem with that. Why? Because there's trust in my relationship with him, and it's a healthy, normal relationship. Hello. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, remember, they see the world the way they are. So if they're liars, if they're cheaters, if they're, you know, snarky, nasty, miserable SOBs, they will accuse you of everything that they would do. Does that make sense? So if somebody demands your passwords and there's no cheating going on, there's no reason to give them your password. And here's a caveat. So in relationships where there has been a violation of trust, yes, you are going to have to show them that you are trustworthy and you are no longer doing whatever behavior was going on, especially if it involved a computer or a phone. But that's for a limited amount of time. It's not forever. So if there's no cheating going on, if there's no lying going on, and your partner is going, well, give me your phone. Give me your phone. I want to know your password. I want to know this. I want access to this. Honey, that's not normal. That's not normal. John's got his computer and his password. I never look at it. I don't care, because I know he's not cheating and I know I'm not cheating. So, because again, we see the world the way we are. Narcissists see the world the way they are. So if they are accusing you of all this stuff, I can guarantee you that they are either thinking about it or they are doing it. Or their insecurities are so ginormous that that's what they would do. There you go. All right. So don't ever give your password out. Yeah, they want to know who you're talking to. They demand passwords to your phone, computer, email, Facebook, etc. Yeah, because they want to know every single aspect of your life, and they will monitor it. They will make sure that you're not talking about them to anybody that could possibly be the voice of reason and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Hello. So yeah, there is that. Okay. They keep you from getting a full night's sleep, wake you up to start an argument or to ask a stupid question. So keeping somebody sleep deprived is one of the biggest ways that governments, that torture, use to brainwash, use to get information, use to make the person more pliable. If you are sleep deprived, you are more malleable. You are more easily manipulated than if you had a full night's sleep. Because when you're sleep deprived, you're just like, oh my God, I'll give you whatever you want, just shut up. Okay, so these are the ones that will go into the kitchen at 2 o'clock in the morning and start banging pots and pans and slamming doors or starting an argument or waking you up to ask, you know, where's the milk? Well, it's in the refrigerator, dumbass. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do. This is just what they do in order to keep you sleep deprived so that they can more easily control you. And then of course, in the middle of the day, they'll take a nap and they expect you to be 100% quiet. And if you wake them up, oh my God, there will be hell to pay, because that's what these people do. So yeah, watch for that. Okay. They refuse to take ownership for any of their actions. Now, generally, narcissists will not apologize ever. And if you call them on something and they can't get out of it, they'll try to twist it so that somehow it was your fault. So if this person is never willing to go, yo, my bad, clean up in aisle 5, I did it, I am sorry, I take responsibility, it won't happen again, how can I make amends? If they're unwilling to do that, you're not going to change them, because their ego is so huge that they are unwilling to take responsibility for harming somebody else. Somebody who has worked on themselves is willing to go, I did this and I'm so sorry, and it will not happen, because you get the ego out of the way. But with a narcissist, they're all ego. It's all ego. So there that is. All right. Oh my God, we're running out of time. What the hell? I didn't even get through this. We might have to do a part 3. They encourage you to kill yourself, either directly, as in just go kill yourself during an argument when they're losing, or they encourage drug and alcohol or smoking or poor eating habits and no exercise. So remember, abusers want us dead. Ultimately, they do. Once they get us and they realize that they can only mirror us for a small amount of time, because they don't really have the compassion or the empathy or the kindness or the fun or whatever it is that they saw in us that they wanted, and that by getting us, they're not going to get it by osmosis, they get angry and then they want us dead. They want us dead, and they will, and I've seen it happen. They will use food to kill somebody. They will use smoking to kill somebody. They'll prevent somebody from exercising. They will prevent their partner from taking good care of themselves, i.e. no sleep. Or they will flat out tell them to kill themselves. Or, and I've seen this too, adult narcissist tormenting an adult child will come to visit and leave razor blades, knowing that they were a cutter when they were a teenager. So they'll leave razor blades everywhere in the house. Yes, I have seen that. These fuckers are not to be trusted. They want us dead. Don't kid yourself. All right, there it is. All right, let me just blast through the rest of this list, and then we're gonna hit questions. Hang on. Okay, they refuse to help around the house because it is beneath them. So in a lot of cases, what I have seen with narcissists is that because they are so entitled, they truly believe that everybody else needs to be doing the housework except for them. Seriously. So hang on a second. I'm going to choke. Thank you. Okay. So they won't lift a finger. They won't take out the garbage. They won't do the dishes. They won't mop. They won't sweep. They won't clean the toilets. They won't do anything. And they expect the kids to do it all. Like, seriously, like they will turn it over to a 5-year-old and demand that the 5-year-old clean the house, clean your room, clean the bathroom, clean this, clean that. Now, granted, we need to teach kids how to clean. Absolutely. But you do it with them and you show them how to do it. And you help them do it on a weekly basis. That's how you teach children how to do housework, right? But narcissists don't. And they demand that everybody else in the household does this. I just swallowed down the wrong pipe. Hang on, hang on. Okay, that's a little better. All right. So they won't help with housework. They won't lift a finger. They don't want to help because it's beneath them. They seriously think that that's beneath them. And even when the child is an older teen, they refuse to help the kid clean or to show the kid how to do it properly because that's beneath them. And they will hire maids and they will hire, whatever to come over and do it. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with hiring maids. But if your attitude, if the reason you're hiring the maid is because it's beneath you, that's bullshit. If you're hiring maids to help you out because you're busy, that's something different, and you do housework in between, that's a little different. But if you're doing it because, oh, you're so high and mighty and you can't be bothered, WTF, really? So watch for that, because that is something that a lot of them do. All right. You are not allowed to express any emotion at all, period. It's because they can't handle it. They can't handle a healthy, normal relationship. They can't handle normal emotions. They can't even handle happiness, because once they realize that you get your joy from something other than them, they will set about to destroy it. So yeah, you can't express any emotions around them. You have to account for every cent of your own paycheck if you buy something And if you buy something for yourself, they berate you as selfish. I'm not kidding you. I have mentioned this before. It is literally like working in a prison system. So like in the prison system, if you're serving food, you have to make sure that all of the portions are exactly equal. Like no more, no less, because guarantee you one of those prisoners will be like, well, he got more than me and blah, 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 blah. That's what these guys do. So if you are working and you have your own incoming paycheck, they will either demand that you combine your money with theirs, or you get your paycheck and they'll want an accounting of every single cent that you spent. And they'll demand money for their stuff. You pay for them. You pay for them. And they're trying to bankrupt you is what they're trying to do. And then if you do something nice for yourself, they will make you feel guilty. Well, I didn't get this. Why didn't I get this? I did me, I, more my genitals. Seriously, that's what they do. So they will absolutely berate you for buying something for yourself. And if you're not accounting for every single penny, they will, well, where's the money? What did you do with it? Do you have a secret account? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm sorry, who thinks that? Who thinks that? It's normal for adults to have their own accounts and then have a pot that you put in equally together. That's how it's done. You know, but a narcissist wants control over your money, and they really don't want you to have money. Their whole goal is to make you bankrupt. Their whole goal is to keep you from being unable, you know, they want to keep you from leaving them. That's what their whole goal is. They want you to be unable to hire an attorney. They want you to be unable to move. They want you to be unable to do whatever it is you need to do for yourself. Okay, just, I think, hang on, a couple more, or are we done? Nope, that's it for this. So I still have a whole other list that I would like to go over next week because I want to make sure to get this out. So, okay, guys, if you got questions, now's the time to ask. So I am ready to take questions on this. So share the living crap out of these videos, guys, because every single thing that I am talking about, it's like, this is what they do. These are the warning signs. These are how we knew it was, you know, how you knew you were in an abusive relationship. This is how everybody knew they were in an abusive relationship. The stuff that I talked about last week, the stuff I'm talking about this week, and then the stuff I'm going to talk about next week is things that kill a relationship, because I want to talk about what a healthy relationship is and what an unhealthy one is, so that when you're in an unhealthy one, you can go, oh shit, this isn't healthy, I need to get out. All right, so question. My ex-mate said I made him yell at me because I wouldn't listen. He said that my crying upset him, even though I told him his yelling scared me and I wanted him to stop. Is yelling abuse, even if nothing physical happens? Yes, it absolutely is. It's intimidation. They are attempting to control through fear. So when somebody has got PTSD and their trigger is somebody yelling, right? And it causes a great deal of fear. It causes you to cry. It causes you to feel horrible. Yes, they are intentionally doing this. This is abso-freaking-lutely abuse. And this is what abusers do. They do this because they want to control you. So when they say, oh, your crying upsets me, and you know, da-da-da-da-da, and how dare you be crying because I yelled at you? What the frick? Really? What they should be doing is, oh my God, hon, I am so sorry. I didn't realize that was a trigger for you. I won't do it again. And then it doesn't fucking happen again. And if you're crying, they comfort you. Anything less, that's abuse. That is totally abuse. What is the difference between gray rock and being a doormat? I get really confused on this. Okay, being a doormat means you have idiot compassion and you allow them in your life and you basically let them do whatever they want to you. Gray rock is when they are out of control screaming. They're doing the screaming thing. They're doing the raging thing. They're doing the you thing. And you do this. Yeah, look at the time. You observe, don't absorb. Okay. And you pick a time to walk out. And then you have nothing more to do with them. So gray rock is used when you have to have contact with them. So for example, you're in a custody battle, right? You're divorced, you're doing your exchanges, the ex comes in and says some really horrible things, and it could be male or female saying something horrible to a male or a female. And what you do is you just don't react because they're poking the bear, poking the bear, poking the bear, poking the bear. They want a reaction. They're looking for a reaction. They want you to come unglued so that they can then rage or point out that you're crazy or, start a fight or whatever their bullshit agenda is. So when you're having to have contact with them and you have no choice, such as a custody exchange, you gray rock. You gray rock. You give them nothing, no emotion. That is not being a doormat. Now, if they start being abusive, you walk away. You absolutely walk away and you document the living crap out of it. Okay, so that I hope answers the question. Let me explain idiot compassion. So this is a concept from Pema Chodron, who is the Buddhist American nun. And compassion is where we can look at the abuser and go, wow, sucks to be you because of whatever, poor childhood, whatever. That's not an excuse to abuse. And this is something I hear freaking abusers do all the time. Oh, poor me. I had a bad childhood. Boo hoo hoo. I get to act however I want because I had a bad childhood. Boo hoo hoo. Bull fucking shit. Okay, I had a bad childhood. You don't see me acting like that, and I won't act like that. Why? Because I have empathy and I have compassion and I've done the work on myself. These people do not. Even if they did try to do the work on themselves, they will not change because they don't think that they're the problem. So idiot compassion is allowing yourself to feel sorry for the abuser and continue to have them in your life, even when it becomes blatantly obvious that they're abusive. No, kick them to the curb. Ain't nobody got time for that. Get rid of them. Hang on. Oh my God, all the pollen is just going nuts. The last month has been horrible. Like I walked outside and it was like a blanket of yellow and I'm like, ooh, it's so pretty. Oh, I'm really going to pay for this later. Anyway, okay. I am finally in a healthy relationship. I am happy, but have extreme urges to call or text my ex-abuser. What's wrong with me? Oh, bunny. Okay. So this is normal. So think of it this way. When we are in an abusive relationship, this really truly is like being in a drug addiction. It is. The drug is our abuser. Why? Because they do the intermittent positive rewards just like a drug. Any drug, heroin, alcohol, meth, whatever. You're using it. Oh my God, the high. Oh, they love me, they love me, they love me. Everything's great. Oh, we're so fabulous. He's my mirror, she's my mirror. Everything's perfect. Oh no, they hate me, they hate me, they hate me. Oh my God, what's wrong? What's wrong? No, they love me. Everything's good again. Up and down, up, down, up, down. It's intermittent positive rewards. That's just how we train a dog. We don't give a treat every single time. And eventually the dog learns to sit without a treat being in hand. That's what they're doing to us. And so when we leave the relationship, there is a part of our brain that is still craving that high and that low. So it's an addiction. So when you want to call or text your ex, it's the same mechanism as an alcoholic or a drug addict wanting to go use. Boom, truth bomb. It is exactly the same mechanism. Exactly. And you have to treat it as such. So what your brain is doing is it's looking for that high. Heroin addicts will literally pass out before they've even plunged the plunger into their skin because they're anticipating the high. So your brain is looking for those dopamines, endorphins, serotonins, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's calling up the ex, the abuser, in order to get those. You have to thought stop. So when that thought pops up, thank you so much for your input. A fascinating thought. I am choosing to not act on it. We are not going to get high off the thought of my abuser. In fact, I'm going to go write down every rotten thing that he, she did to me so that I don't want to call them again. Thanks for playing. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Go play in traffic. Bye-bye. Seriously, you got to get rid of that thought. You got it. Gots to. And it is because your brain is trying to get the endorphins stimulated, the feel-good chemicals. We also become addicted, and this is the same mechanism, to the drama, to the chaos, because it's the whole intermittent positive rewards. Is it going to be good? Oh, is he or she going to be in a good mood? Oh shit, no, they're not. Oh my God, drama. I'm sorry, the only place drama belongs is on the stage or at the movie theater. By the way, go see Endgame. Really good. Okay, so, all right. So I hope that answers your question. So what you're going to do is thought stopping. The thought pops up. You don't resist it. So when we resist a thought, oh my God, pink elephant taking a shit in the corner of the living room. Oh, I don't want to think about it. I'm not thinking about the pink elephant. I'm not thinking about the pink elephant. I'm not thinking about what am I thinking about the whole time? The pink elephant. But if I go, look, there's the pink elephant. Well, isn't that interesting? Intermittent positive rewards. What do I need to do? Pink elephant. I need to write down every rotten thing that person did to me. My deal breaker list. There we go. And you deal with it and then you dismiss it. Okay. So yeah, it's just part of the addiction. It is part of the addiction. So make sure you do thought stopping. Make sure you do your deal breaker list. What will you not put up with? And how many of those did that person break? Ooh, might not want to contact them again. Just saying. In fact, you want to block their phone calls. You want to block everything, block social media, block email, block phones, block everything. You don't want contact with them at all, not even accidentally. And remember, they hoover and they know this. These fuckers know this. They know that when we get into a healthy relationship, that we're still susceptible to the addiction. So they will hoover. And that's when you want to be strong enough to be like, not today, Satan. Thanks for playing. So there it is. All right. Sometimes I feel like I'm asking for something to change and he never asks for anything from me. What is the right level of give and take from each partner in a relationship? Well, it's an open, honest communication. So, John and I have check-ins all the time. It's like, how are you doing? Is there anything you need from me? How am I doing? What do I need from you? Are our needs getting met? This is where couples get into trouble, is when their needs are not getting met. So that's when unhappiness happens. So you want to check in, and it's always a give and take. Always. It's making sure that they're okay and you're okay, and they're making sure you're okay and they're okay, and they're responsible for them and you're responsible for you, and you guys are both responsible for the relationship. So that's a healthy relationship. So I'm wondering though, just like, okay, so you're always asking for something to change. What? If any of these things are on that list of things to change, honey, get the hell out. Okay. If it's something simple and they're working on it, that's one thing. If they're not working on it, you want to ask why, maybe. Ask them to go to therapy. If they're an abuser, don't do it. Never, ever, ever, ever go to couples counseling with an abuser. If they have done any of these, do not go to couples counseling with them. They will turn it around on you and they will use it against you and they will use it to abuse you. Don't ever go to couples counseling with an abuser. Okay. What do we do about the weird feelings we have when a narc doesn't hoover? Okay. So here's the thing. Not all narcs hoover because they're cowards, number one. Number two, if you are strong in your resolve and they know it and they know you're not going to fall for their bullshit, they won't even try. Because remember, part of their bullshit is avoidant personality disorder on top of narcissism. So they won't do anything that they're not assured success at. If they think that they will win, they will try. And usually the more delusional ones are the ones that do that. But if they have any sort of reasoning whatsoever, they'll recognize they're not always going to win, and so they won't even try. Now, I just recently had a client that had been divorced from their first abusive spouse. 20 years later, this person got a out of the blue Facebook request, hey, haven't heard from you in years, just wanted to reconnect. And she was like, oh, hell no, click, delete. 20 years later, no hoover. 20 years later. So what they do is they will cycle back through eventually to every single ex they've ever had, because at this point in time, 20 years later, they will have burnt all the bridges. And so they're going to try to figure out who they can still hoover, who they can still manipulate. Gee, there's a chance. Haven't been around her in 20 years. Maybe she'll fall for it. Maybe he'll fall for it. Maybe, do you see where I'm going? So don't feel weird. Be prepared, because it will happen. It will. It absolutely will. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not in 5 years. But like I said, this person had it in 20 years. It was like 20 years later, the person came in and sat down on my desk or my desk, my couch, and was like, I cannot believe this. My abuser just texted me, contacted me, whatever, Facebook, wanted to get back together 20 years later. And this person's happily married. So it's like, oh, isn't that interesting? Because it's a win for the narcissist. If the narcissist can pull you away from a healthy, happy relationship, oh, that's freaking cocaine to them. Are you kidding me? Ha ha, see how powerful I am? 20 years later, I could pull you back. So yeah, just recognize that it may not have happened yet, but it will. It will. So be prepared. Be prepared, and make sure you've got all avenues locked down so that they can't get to you. And if for some reason they do send you a friend request on Facebook, you just delete it, you know, or you block them, you know, you just do that. Okay, my borderline best friend for life, but BFF, best friend, I think that's what that means, cut me off cold turkey for taking something I said the wrong way, yet she will hold on to bad man all the time. Why did she cut me off? Okay. Borderline personality disorder is extremely hard to deal with, especially when it gets further down the spectrum, when they have more than just traits of, okay? So down at the low end of the spectrum, it's traits of 1, 2, maybe 3 traits, 4 possibly. Once you get to 5 or above, it is full blown, and it is extremely hard to deal with them because part of their psychopathy is that they have got traits of all 10 major personality disorders, okay? So that means schizoaffective, schizotypal, narcissistic, histrionic, avoidant, OCD, I'm missing some. Oh my God, there's 4 I'm missing. What am I missing? Hold that thought. I happen to have my handy dandy little DSM-5 right here. Hold on. Okay, all right, people, hang on. Oh. Okay, glasses. What did I do with, hang on, don't go anywhere. All right. Oh, hello, I can read now. Wow. Okay. Aha! All right, paranoid, schizoid, schizotypal, antisocial, borderline, histrionic, narcissistic, avoidant, dependent, obsessive, compulsive. There we go. Those are the different personality disorders. So they will have traits of all of them and the extra added bonus of bordering on psychotic thinking. They tend to take things extremely personal, extremely. That's why they're so difficult to work with, because a therapist could say something that's helpful to most people, and the borderline's mind will twist it, turn it into something like a personal attack, and then they'll come roaring back at the therapist. So they look for, just like an addict, they look for excuses to rage. They do. Because why? Because raging is stimulating all the dopamines, the endorphins, the serotonins, et cetera, et cetera. They get very addicted to the raging because it is a powerful feeling, because all of these feel-good chemicals are flooding their brain. So they look for, just like an alcoholic looking for an excuse to go use, they look for an excuse to rage. They look for an excuse to be offended. They look for an excuse to have a reason to hate somebody because it fills their brain with endorphins, dopamine, serotonins, et cetera. Is it a healthy, normal way to think? No, that's why it's a disorder. And like I said, at the lower end of the spectrum, I am happy to work with people like that are at the lower end of the spectrum. Once they've hit full blown and above, it's very difficult to work with them because they are so invested in ego, and they are so invested in being right, and they are so invested in being offended. So that's why it's hard to work with full-blown BPD, and that's why DBT is the best modality for that. The next best one, schemotherapy, CBT can work. So yeah, so there that is. Why did she cut you off? Well, because she decided she was offended. And that's what they do. And then sometimes it's a power play to get you to come back and apologize and beg to be taken back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a great book called Stop Walking on Eggshells by Randy Krieger. Get it, read it. So you don't deserve to be treated that way. And sometimes what borderlines will do is they will abandon before they are abandoned. So if they perceive a slight, even if it's imagined, they will abandon family, they will abandon friends in order to not get hurt, so that they're the ones who did it. So it's power play. So that's what's going on with that. All right. And why do they hold on to bad men all the time? Well, it's a self-esteem thing. So remember, borderline personality disorder is rooted in trauma. Usually when I work with borderlines, there is inevitably some sort of sexual trauma that has happened in their past. So they have very, very, very low self-esteem or no self-esteem. And so if they've got, you know, a caregiver over here that was abusive, or a caregiver over here that was abusive, they will look for somebody that mimics the person they had the hardest time with, thinking that if they just make them love them, they will fix this. And we as empaths tend to do the same thing when we're dating narcissists, okay? So it's all about the original wound, guys. It's all about self-esteem, and it's all about the original wound. You've got to fix the original wound. If you've got borderline personality disorder, you've got to work on the trauma. You have to work on the original trauma, and you have to work on your self-esteem and recognize that there are healthier ways to cope with abandonment, to cope with fear, to cope with anger, to cope with, period. We can never fix the original wound by dating somebody that reminds us of the original wounder, ever. Half a shit sandwich, total shit sandwich. All right. How can you tell if my son or daughter is becoming a narcissist because she or he is being raised by my narcissistic ex? Oh boy, hang on. All right, so we pick up fleas. We do, and it's really hard, especially if the kids are teenagers, because teenagers are inherently very self-centered, and I mean that differently than narcissistic, okay? Little kids are very egocentric, okay? And I don't mean that like a narcissist. I mean like they think kind of a little magic thinking that they make things happen, or that it's their fault, or that the world revolves around them, kind of thing. So is the daughter or the son picking up fleas? Do they behave differently when they're with you than they do when they're with the narcissist? Are they doing things to try to please the narcissist? Are they doing things to try to be like the narcissist so the narcissist doesn't harm them? Those are fleas. Those are fleas. If you're concerned, get them into therapy. But the problem of it is if you're splitting custody with a narcissist, they will literally go through fiery hoops to prevent the children from getting help because they don't want to be exposed. They do not want in any way, shape, or form to have any therapist taking a look and going, you're the problem. So if you have any sort of say in the medical, I would definitely see if you could get them into therapy, and working on that. Compassion is always a good thing, teaching our children compassion, doing a lot of volunteer work. That's a really good vaccine against, thinking that you're all that in a bag of chips. There is that. Okay. My nose is running. I'm going to call it for today. I think next time I'm going to take an antihistamine. All right. If you want me to come to your area, please send an email to Chris, K-R-I-S, at Mercury, MURCURI.com, and let me know what city you want me to be in. If you want me to come to St. Paul, Minneapolis, that is scheduled for July 13th. I need to get at least 10 people signed up for that so that I can pay for my airline ticket. That would be nice, and possibly hotel. So there is that. Visit Eventbrite, sign up now. If you are interested in the cruise, get on the waiting list. Chris is going to be talking to Carnival to get more cabins. So we are sold out right now, but we're looking at getting more cabin. There's only 20 left for the sign up for the reserve for the, good Lord, waiting list. Brain gone. Okay, so that is that, I believe. Let me think. Okay, I think that's it, guys. So I am going to continue this discussion because I think this is important. So the next one that we're going to be talking about is things that kill a relationship. Things that kill a relationship. I want to talk about the difference between an unhealthy relationship and a healthy relationship. Please share the living crap out of these videos. I think this is important. These lists, the ones I did last week, the ones I did this week, these are the red signs that people knew they had to get the fuck out. So share them, email them, share them on Facebook, share them with your friends, share them to anybody that you think it will help, provided that it's safe and that the abuser doesn't find out about it because you don't want them to get hurt. So share them. Anyway, that's it. I'm calling it. Have a great day. I will talk to you guys. Where is my, oh, good Lord. Please go over there. There we go. Okay, there it is. Ha. Okay, I will talk to you guys. What am I doing? Oh, show them to the people next to you on the plane. Oh, that's hysterically funny. All right. Okay, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.